If the Nazis had truly developed undead zombie soldiers, could Germany have turned the tide of its losing war? The story begins on June 6, 1944, the eve of the Normandy landings. An elite U.S. Army squad was ordered into France. Their mission: parachute into a German-occupied village and destroy a signal tower jamming U.S. Air Force communications by 6 a.m. This would secure air support for the 120,000 Allied troops landing in Normandy. As the planes pierced thick clouds, the squadron reached the heart of the battlefield. Their first encounter was a barrage of high-explosive bombs. Before reaching the designated drop zone, most aircraft had already crashed. Immediately following came relentless machine gun fire. If they didn't bail out immediately, the entire squad would be wiped out. Just then, a high-explosive bomb struck the rear of the aircraft. Most soldiers were sucked out by the powerful blast wave. Nick managed to jump out with his teammates' help, but even in mid-air, he risked being hit by bullets. He managed to deploy his parachute only to crash into the water. The damn parachute cord nearly drowned him, but he swiftly drew his knife to cut free and swim to the surface. Just as he reached shore for a moment's respite, German machine gun fire erupted. Nick had no choice but to sprint into the nearby woods. Now, deep within enemy territory, Nick faced constant danger. The squad leader was spotted by a group of Germans. Just as Nick reached for his pistol to intervene, Jack appeared and stopped him. Helplessly, they watched as the squad leader fell to German gunfire. As the mission's core operative, Jack knew destroying the signal jamming tower was paramount. Sacrificing the mission to save the captain would inflict greater casualties on the landing forces. Soon after, they encountered 3 surviving teammates, forming a 5-man squad to press onward. But shortly into their advance, one comrade accidentally triggered a landmine. The deafening blast stunned the others, forcing them to advance cautiously with bayonets drawn. They eventually navigated the minefield, only to discover a bizarre animal carcass in the woods, a creature none had ever seen before. As they debated its origin, a French woman suddenly appeared in the woods. They quickly pursued and detained her. Nick, who spoke French, learned through conversation that she was a villager from the very settlement they sought, attempting to scavenge supplies under cover of darkness. She expressed intense hatred for the Germans and volunteered to guide the squad to the village. After confirming they were American soldiers, she secretly brought them back to her home. German patrols roamed everywhere outside, and the nearby church served as a German base housing the signal tower they needed to destroy. The entire base was heavily guarded. With only 4 men, the mission seemed suicidal. To ensure success, Jack sent 2 teammates to the rendezvous point to search for other survivors. More hands meant more strength, but shortly after they left, a German officer knocked on the woman's door. Jack and Nick scrambled into the attic, and the woman had no choice but to let him in. Clearly, the officer often spent the night there. Peering through the cracks, they witnessed the officer preparing to assault the woman when a rifle suddenly pressed against his head. To keep the mission on track, Jack had no choice but to knock the officer unconscious and bind him. He then ordered Nick to find the other 2 teammates immediately. Before the Germans could discover them, they had to proceed with the mission ahead of schedule.